It is the type of organization. I mean, you think of the fundamental difference between the two companies. Google was set up by a couple of engineers who tried to make a place that's a wonderful place for engineers to work. So they hire smart people and make them happy, and give them good challenges and lots of freedom, and hope that good things happen. Amazon was set up by a investment banker who wanted to make a very successful organization. So he hired workaholics, and put structures in place to make them work hard. And lots of good things happen, and they happen to be smart people. And Google people are often hardworking people, but it's a very different culture. So Jeff sort of put in place all these systems. He believes in mechanisms, like how do you get a result? You need a mechanism that sort of, when we do this process or this thing, we have a document and we sit down and collaborate with it. The outcome is that we are now sharing the ownership of this document, and that's sort of the mechanism, if you like. So here's a whole series of these things. One of my favorites is the weekly business review. And I do find, and this is an interesting thing, that often people who do OKRs tend to try to use OKRs for everything and not use anything else. And this, I think this is a mistake. I think that there are many parts of a business where you really need a relatively large number of metrics to be tracked on a regular basis. And I don't necessarily have targets for all of them. I might have targets for a few. I might have OKRs for a few of them. But basically, I'm following the metrics that matter for my organization. And I use this in a weekly business review. So every week we look at all of the metrics that are relevant. And this might be of my function. It might be my product. It might be the whole business. It might be sales. It might be marketing. It might be across different groups, whatever it is, right? But you're looking at these together with a group of people that are committed to this project or this area. So with my clients, that's often the C team, the executive team. We sit down and we look at every week. Here are the main metrics, and we're having this conversation about, well, what's changed? You're not just having a dashboard. A lot of people have these beautiful dashboards with numbers on them, and it's like, cool, I can see a snapshot, but what's happening? And what you need is like the history of at least over a couple of months, usually a year, ideally a year plus the year before, so you can see seasonality, right? So you look at these numbers, whatever they are. They might be new leads, they might be page views, whatever's important to your business. You're looking at these numbers on a regular basis. You're seeing things change, and then you're able to react to them. And by doing this, you're, number one, starting to investigate what drives what in the organization. What are the leading metrics? With the leading metrics, you're never going to go and sit down for half an hour, brainstorm, and come up with the leading metrics. You have to actually work with the numbers and with this on a regular basis until you discover what really leads what drives what, and how does this really work, and how can I get an early signal? What are my inputs that I can control? And then how does this business really work? So by doing this and sitting down and going through these numbers, at Amazon, you'd have a deck of 20 pages with thousands of numbers on it, but you can do this a lot simpler. But by doing this on a regular basis, you start to get that team really engaged in understanding how this business works, which then means that I can come up with a strategy much better and my OKRs much better. But it also means that because I'm following these things on a regular basis, I'm able to react to changes in the business that have not been planned as part of my strategy, but something is happening. Like, suddenly one day we're having fewer impressions on our sales page. What's going on here? Let's have a look at it. Let's respond to this. And now that's a tool that I have for driving action in my organization, that does not have to be associated with a specific OKR.